She turned away when he
Take your
begged for
sickness
help,
to the streets.
not knowing the man she ignored would one day hold the keys to her fate. This is a story of shame,
Take your sickness to
redemption,
the
and the
streets.
power of compassion. Wait until you see how one small act or lack of it can change
Take
lives
your
forever.
sickness to the streets.
Stick around to see how compassion became the most powerful currency in this story. If this is the first time you come across my video, please subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out any time I uploaded a new video. In the middle of bustling Freetown stood Queen's Mercy Hospital, known for its white walls, polished tiles, and strict routines. Every dawn, the courtyard filled with patients seeking healing, and nurses streamed in like soldiers preparing for battle. Among them was Nurse Salon, a sharp-tongued woman with quick feet and little patience for anything that did not sparkle. She believed illness had a hierarchy, and those who dressed well were the ones most deserving of care. One windy morning, a frail homeless man sat hunched on the entrance bench, wrapped in blankets that had seen too many seasons. His beard was wild, his shoes uneven, and his cough rattled like stones in a tin can. He asked softly for help, but passers-by pretended he was a stain on the tiles. "Take your sickness to the streets," Nurse Salon snapped as she pushed past him, her perfume slicing through the air while the man bowed his head and said nothing. Inside, the hospital walked like a hive. Doctors moved between beds, orderlies rolled carts, and the sound of monitors beeped like sparrows. Nurse Salon walked with clipped steps, backing instructions to trainees and scolding patients for asking too many questions. To her, compassion was a luxury, too expensive to spend on strangers who smelled like rain-soaked cardboard. Outside again, the homeless man tried to rise, but collapsed onto the cold tiles. The security guard nudged him with his boot, annoyed by the inconvenience. "You are scaring away real customers," he muttered. The man coughed harder, his chest wheezing, until finally an old market woman nearby offered him water from a small calabash. "God sees the unseen," she whispered. The homeless man nodded, as if he already knew. Night came early, and heavy clouds swallowed the sun. Rain drummed on the tin roofs as the hospital lights flickered in the courtyard. Nurse Salon clocked out and passed the entrance bench, expecting it to be empty. Instead, she found the homeless man curled up, shivering beneath his wet blanket. For a moment, guilt tugged at her sleeve, but she brushed it off. "If he cannot care for himself, why should I?" she muttered as she walked away. Unknown to her, the man once stood tall in boardrooms filled with leather chairs and glass tables. His name was Dr. Jonathan Calon, the majority shareholder of Queen's Mercy Hospital, a philanthropist and once one of the city's wealthiest sons. But tragedy moves quietly, and illness moves quicker. After losing his wife to a sudden stroke, grief swallowed his interest in the world. He abandoned his mansion, donated most of his fortune, and wandered the streets searching for meaning beyond money. At dawn, the hospital staff arrived to find a convoy at the entrance, sleek black cars, men in suits, and a tall elderly woman stepping out with a folder. Nurse Salon stood stiff, confused. "We are here to see Dr. Calon," the woman announced. The guard stammered, "We have no doctor by that name here." The woman pointed toward the entrance bench where the homeless man still lay. "That is Dr. Calon, the rightful owner of this hospital." A hush fell thick as harmattan dust. The staff rushed to assist him, but it was Nurse Salon who froze hardest, her eyes suddenly soft with regret. The market woman from the day before approached and helped lift him gently, proving that kindness requires no salary. Within minutes, Dr. Calon was in a private ward, receiving the care he had begged for the previous day. His breathing steadied, and when he opened his eyes, he asked to speak with the nurse who ignored him. Standing before his bed, Nurse Salon trembled. No arrogance, no perfume, only shame. She opened her mouth to defend herself, but Dr. Calon lifted his hand. "I needed help, not riches. Yet you judged my worth by my clothes." His voice was calm, but it carried the weight of thunder. A hospital is not just a business, it is a sanctuary for the broken. The room fell silent, and even the machines seemed to hold their breath. In the weeks that followed, policies changed, trainings deepened, and a golden plaque was hung in the courtyard. compassion first. Nasalon learned that a heart can become tender again, and Dr. Kalon returned to his quiet philanthropy. And when the market woman came for treatment months later, she was treated as royalty. She laughed and said, "True wealth is measured in mercy, not money." And so the moral traveled through the city like evening breeze. Kindness costs nothing, yet it is the greatest currency we possess. If you were the homeless man, what would you do? Let me know in the comment section. See you in my next video.